I made a huge decision. I am really not liking this color at all. It's not sanding well. I already sanded through it a couple spots, and I thought I could sand the sags out, but I'm having to sand it so far down, I go right back down to the primer to get it out. And so I'm not a happy camper with this color at all. I don't like the bright green of it. I wanted it to be a dark green, and it's far from being dark green. So I'm gonna go look at some other colors, and I'm gonna repaint this thing a different color. It probably won't be green now. It'll probably be, I'm thinking more of a tan or ivory color is what I'm gonna go with. And but that can all change when I go in looking at colors to paint it. But again, I'm not happy with the way this sprayed on. I'm not happy the way it looks. It just looks splotchy. I don't know if it's because the cans can't hold the pressure or what it is, but it's not sanding out too well. And so this flip-flop green is gone, and I'll bring you back in later on at a later date. I don't know when that'll be, but I'm not gonna rush this job. I can't wrap my head around this color at all, so I keep fighting it. I'm just gonna sand it back and paint it a different color, and then I think I'll be happier. I can't take it all the way back down to bare wood. That's just a lost cause too. So anyway, well, we'll see what happens. I'll talk at you later. Sorry guys that I've let you down on this, but you do what you got to do when you do it, and I'm going to change the color of it. It's just, like I said, it's just too splotchy, it's not consistent in color. It just don't look right to me. Alrighty, I'll talk at you all later. Bye now. All right, here's what we're doing today. We're going to do the color change to the Jazz Kit guitar. As you can see, I've already started pre-sanding it here. Ordered the paint for it, and we decided to go with ivory. Now what we ordered? Ivory. It was between ivory and almond. I think we went with ivory because I just like the color of ivory better. And so that's the color it's going to be. I've also ordered some white primer. This area up in here is where I burnt through the veneer the first time. So anyway, almost done here. I'm using my orbital sander here to do the sanding work. And I'll tell you what, it's some tough paint. Just wish it would have worked out better. But anyway, it's sanding off pretty nicely. And after I get it all sanded, I'll start taping it up, and we'll get it ready for when the white primer comes in, and we'll primer it. We'll have to set for a couple of days, then we'll sand the primer back a little bit, and then we'll put that ivory color on here and see how that works. We went with semi-gloss. I didn't want the high gloss, so that's or satin look. I didn't want the high gloss look, and I'm not a high gloss person. In fact, if you look at most of my guitars, they're in a satin look, and I don't like it real shiny and stuff. It's okay, don't get me wrong, shiny guitars are fine. I have a few, but I prefer the satin subdued finish on my guitars. But anyway, I'm not gonna show you my sanding techniques and stuff. Seen one person sand, you've seen us all sand. So anyway, see how things go, and we'll talk at you later on. Well, all right. The weather's turned out a little bit colder than usual out here. Well, not really unusual, but it's kind of a funky day today. A little humid today, a little cool on the cool side, but not so cool I can't open the shop up and let the air blow through here. But continuing on stripping this, stripping that green paint off of here, I thought I'd show you this little, I guess, trick of the trade, I guess. I use lacquer thinner for this part of it. It's right here. And just a paper towel. And I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but it just all of a sudden dawned on me, hey dummy, what about lacquer? So, to take that green paint off. As you can see, I did parts of this. It leaves the primer behind, which we're going to sand that off because this is all going to go to a tan color, so I'm going to put white primer on it. You just take that, soak your rag down, and you start wiping that on there. This is better than using paint strippers or any of that other stuff some of you out there use. See how that green paint starts to come off of there? That green paint's enamel. This technique will work really good on enamel, your acrylics, all that stuff, except for poly. Poly, you have to use either a heat gun or revert to scraping to get the poly off. That's why some of you guys out there struggle when you buy these cheap guitars and you want to change the color on it. You're better to leave the poly on there and just sand it and primer over it, and then go from there instead of trying to take it down to bare wood. Make your chip repairs and whatever you have to do, but I don't recommend sanding poly off of a guitar. It's just way too hard of a finish to get off of your guitar. But as you can see, this goes pretty quickly. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. What else you can do too, if you have a large area, and also you gotta be careful about the bindings. It will eat at the bindings just a tiny bit, but nothing to worry about. What you can do, you can also take, like if this whole area was still green, you could take a rag and lay it on there and saturate your rag with lacquer thinner. That's set for a minute or less, and that'll help loosen that up and wipe it right off. And as you can see, this is a real simple, easy process to do. It's, I would suggest wearing gloves, and don't do it without wearing gloves, especially if you've got sensitive hands. But anyway, just work at it a little bit, and it comes off. And what this does, it'll help keep from plugging up your paper, your sandpaper, when I go to sanding on it here. And so before long, you got it all stripped down. It takes a little work, a little patience. I've been talking to a couple of you out there here lately, and you always comment you don't have any patience. Well, you're going to have to find some, because if you're going to be messing with guitars, that's one thing it's going to teach you is patience. And this is where the patience comes in, because I was really aggravated knowing I had to take and strip this all the way back down basically just start all over. I was hoping on this video I could show you it in white primer, but it's not going to happen. My paint hasn't come in yet, and the weather's just not going to permit any spraying right now. Maybe in a couple of days I can do another video. But anyway, there you have it. All that green is stripped off the front. I still got to do the sides of it, but I'm not going to show that on camera. But there it is. And now I'll go back over this. Again, I'll probably just do it off. I don't know if I'll show me sanding it or not, but I use my orbital sander. What's what I've been using? My orbital sander. I'm using 120 sandpaper on it. I buy it in a big old box like that. It's 120. Comes in a stack like that. These are those got the felt back on them. Highly recommend them. I'm done using stick-on sandpaper. What's nice about this is once it's stuck on there, it sticks. Look at this. See how good that sticks on there? Move the guitar out of the way. Once it's stuck on there, you don't have to worry about it flying off on you like the sticky backs will. Sticky backs will get hot and they'll have a tendency to come off of your sander. What I like to do is I like to line up them holes the best I can. That just helps suck some of that dust out of the air for you as you're sanding. But been a lot of talk here lately online about cheap guitars, kit guitars, and are they worth it? Well, here is my 2 cents on that. Number one, if you want to get into making guitars, I always suggest starting off with a kit guitar or a cheap guitar that you can take apart and do what you want with it. And in that, it should teach you a few things. It'll teach you how a guitar is made, how to start soldering, and on. How a neck is supposed to be positioned and all that stuff. Kit guitars, in the beginning, were meant to teach you how to make guitars. That's my take on it. I have not ever bought a kit guitar that didn't have its problems that you have to solve. And it's not, most of them, I'd say most of them are not a buy it, bolt it together, and off you go. They're getting better at it, but in the beginning they were bad. You had to know some things to do some things. And I automatically anymore, if I like this one, everything on it's being replaced. I'm not using, only thing I'm using is the tailpiece and maybe the bridge. I'm looking right now at a different kind of bridge for it, but just haven't found the one I want. And that's luxury about building a guitar from scratch or taking one and redoing it. You can do it the way you want it. Now, in saying that, you have got to get your head out of this mentality of resale. If you're buying kit guitars to resell, you're going down the wrong avenue. You're going to lose. Most of you are going to lose money on it. I've been fortunate. I've sold a couple of them that I made money on, and it's not a whole lot of money. It's anywhere from $50 to $100 on them. And You know, most kits like this one, I'm going to have well over $500 type in this now. Now that I had to buy more paint, I'm going to do a tally on it. But I know I'm over $500 right now into this guitar. Could I bought one already done? Sure, I could have. But what fun is that? So that's what you have to evaluate when you're dealing with kit guitars or cheap guitars. What do you want out of that guitar? What do you want it to teach you? What do you want it to do? How do you want to put it together? You're making a custom guitar for you. You're not making a custom guitar for somebody else. This guitar I have worked on and sanded on the back of this neck for me. I didn't do it for anybody else but for me. And so this guitar will be a guitar I make for me. And that's why I'm being so picky about this finish, because it's going to be my last guitar I do, and I want it right. And this was not right. The green was just not working out for me, and that's just the way things go sometimes. So now I got to sand it off, start all over, and I'm fine with that. It's just taking me longer, and a little bit of frustration sets in because I thought I'd be playing this by now. So anyway, I'll take a step back, take some step forwards, and hopefully the ivory color that I'm going to paint it will come out okay, and better than okay. But really, when it comes down to buying these cheap guitars, I don't care if you buy those Gibsons and whatever, you really got to sit down and think about it. You're building a custom guitar for yourself. You're not building it for Joe Blow down the street. You're building it for yourself. And so is it worth it to upgrade a guitar? Sure it is. It's worth it to you to make it sound the way you want it to sound and play. So for me, I would say yes, it's worth it. If you're buying it, a kit or a cheap guitar, to rebuild it or put other hardware on it and electronics on it, and hopefully you can sell it for $200 more than it's worth, that's the wrong path, because you're probably gonna make less on it than you think. And until you get really, really good at guitar making, and people come over and play your stuff, like I've had happen to me, they go, "Oh, I gotta have that," and they offer you a price that you probably would give you more for it than what you were going to ask for it. And that's happened to me several times. But anyway, enough of me harping on that. But so is it worth it? Depends on how you look at it. It's worth it to you to have a custom guitar that you have dreamed of having. And you're not going to get that by a production guitar. And you might come close, but it'll never be that dream guitar. And there's so many ways to wire up a guitar. There's so many ways of different pickup configurations. There's so many, if you're doing a kit like this, there's so many colors that you can choose from. You can stain them. You can just leave them plain. It's your imagination just run wild with them. That's why I got into making cigar box guitars, because they're just a ball to make. And you still got to have some principles. You still got to do your neck and your neck joint, know how to do that. But once you get that, and everything else is freebie. You can do with it what you want. Just like this, I could plug them holes all up and just make an acoustic out of it. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, and I'm sorry I rattled on long enough about this. It's like old Tim talks guitars and life. You do you, and I'll do me. And right now that's what I'm doing. I'm doing me on this guitar. And I want to thank y'all for the support and encouragement to carry on with this. Because, you know, it's like I'm just like you all out there. I get frustrated, and I want to just... The other day, I just want to take this and throw it in the trash and say, forget it, I ain't doing it. But I'm going to see it through. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get up and playing. I'm going to take it through and show you how to do a setup on all that stuff is coming. And but I appreciate all your comments, your kind comments, your comments of encouragement, and all your prayers for my health. I really do appreciate it. So I'll bring you back in when I get more. Thank you. Okay, here's the top all sanded down. Getting pretty windy out, storm's coming in. So I'm gonna have to finish the rest of this off camera, I think. I just got a little bit of that green on the sides here to wipe off. And anyway, there's what it looks like so far. Get this one rolling. Out here in the shop by myself today, so I don't have my helper helping me out doing the photographing of this, videoing or whatever, doing the vids. Anyway. Like I said, my paints were supposed to be in today, but the weather's not supposed to get any better until sometime next week. So probably what I'll do is just finish sanding this, take it back in the house, and I'll prep it for paint in the house. And then we'll go from there. Anyway, again, thank you guys out there that have been following me, guys and gals. I'd like to think there's some ladies out there watching this stuff. I want to thank you for watching my videos and for putting up with this old man. Let me ask you a question. What will you be doing when you turn 71 if you make it that far in life? You ever wonder that? I know I have over the years. I can remember being in my 30s wondering what I'd be doing in my 70s if I made it that far. And here I am. I made it that far. I don't have too many more years left in me, I know, because of the Alzheimer's stuff. But so have you asked yourself that? If you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment about it in the comments about what do you think you'll be doing at 70 or in your 70s, or even older. The reason why it took me a little while to do this video is because I did have some bad bouts again with my health, and I had 2 days with some bad stuff going on with me. And today is the only day I've had where the weather's kind of okay, and I'm feeling fairly okay. See that lacquer's eating that glove up. And but anyway, I just thought it'd be an interesting question that somebody of you out there might be able to answer. What will you be doing when you're in your 70s? And I think the hardest part, being as old as I am right now, is getting people to listen to you. That's the main thing I notice in my age group. You know, we're just people that lived a long life. We have a lot to offer. Some of you that are younger, and a lot of you out there won't give us the time of day, and that's sad. It really is. It's sad that you don't want to learn from our experience in life, what we've gone through. And I've gone through a lot. And not just in guitar making, but in life in general. I've almost lost my life a couple of times. My wife has almost lost her life 4 different times. Alrighty, well, I guess that's enough for today. I'm gonna finish this off camera. And the next time you see this, I'll be all taped up and ready to start priming and get ready for the repaint. But you all be at peace, and please comment. Let me know what you plan on doing if you reach my age. I'm 71. I know you're not supposed to tell your age on YouTube, but you know I'm 71 and I don't care. And as you can tell, I got not a real long ways to go, but I got a ways to go yet, getting all that paint off of there, off the sides now. The top and the back are done. And but anyway, we'll be talking at you later. Bye now. Okay, I had to end this video because I had another episode with my health, and I don't know when I'll return, but I'll do that probably next week. We'll see how things go, so I'll be talking at you. Bye now.